Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My 2024 Road Glide, I've owned it 1 year now. I purchased it in March of 2024. It is now June 2025. Just over a year later, do I still like it? Let's find out. So like I said, I purchased this motorcycle brand new in March of 2023. It's now June of 2025. I've owned it for 14 months. After I purchased it in March, I started riding probably near the end of April of 2024. Rode it just, mostly around my province here in Manitoba. I did one long trip out to Colorado with it, where I put on about 6,000 kilometers. Rode it, I think, until close to the end of October 2024, and then started again this year in April 25, and now it's June. We're a couple months into the 25 riding season, and so far I put on just a little bit over 22,000 kilometers, which works out to about 13,000 miles. And so far the bike has been completely trouble-free. I have had zero issues with it, knock on wood. I should say I had one issue with it where all of a sudden the speakers quit working. And that was as simple as pulling the fuse and putting it back in, and the speakers started working again. So before I get into what I like and don't like about the bike, let's just do a quick walk around and have a look at what I added to the bike. Okay, so since I purchased the bike last year, what did I all add? Well, let's start with the windshield. So this is a Freedom Shield windshield. I'm going to say, I think it was the 13-inch. The original was way too low, and it was hitting me, the wind was hitting me straight in the face. So that has been a godsend. I also added the hand protectors there. I added heated grips. Those were also worth every penny. The flat out bar at the front was added. I just love the look of the flat out bar. That, along with the bag protectors, and I did a video on this. The two of them together, I've got lots of compliments on this. I also see lots of guys doing it. Makes the bike look great. The standard, nothing wrong with the standard crash bar, but I like that way better. The Wedge high flow air cleaner. Absolutely love the look of this thing. There was a noticeable increase in power when I added this, even though I did not do the stage 1. The only thing I don't really like about that is that it does get dirty very quick. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but I only rode it maybe a couple of hundred kilometers, a couple hundred miles, and it's already dirty. So I have cleaned it once already. What else did we add? The S&S MK45 slip-ons. Now those, I love S&S exhaust. Absolutely love these. I love the sound. They look awesome. Fit the bike really, really well. One of my favorite additions. Rider's backrest. Just bought that straight from Harley. Sissy bar, luggage rack were added. And I think that is it. Oh, and I should add, I also had the bike wrapped. Now you can't really tell. Maybe right here. I don't know if it's going to show up on the video. But this is just a protective wrap I had put on the whole front of the bike. The fairing, the fender, the bags, top of the bags, the front of the bags. So that has helped tremendously. I had it on the fork. I had to put on the forks as well. And you can see on the forks, there is some pitting there, and that was after, I'm going to say maybe 2 weeks of riding, it already started pitting. So I'm really glad I put that protective film on there, because since then there has been no more. And then lastly, it was a very small thing, but I switched these out too. So these latches, they come standard chrome or silver, which I think looks ridiculous, because the rest of the bike is black and white. So why would you have silver levers here? So I bought these off of Amazon. I'm going to say for maybe 30 bucks, if that. And I think just kind of completes the look. Everything is now black and white. Very small, cheap upgrade. Okay, let's get into the 5 things I don't like about this bike. Number one would be the way you set up the suspension for a second rider. Now, the suspension itself compared to older models of the Harley actually is not that bad, but I just don't care for how long it takes me to adjust the suspension when I add a passenger. The whole process is very cumbersome. It's a lot of work. It probably takes 10 to 15 minutes. A lot of times that stupid wrench that they give you with it slips off and it's just a pain in the ass. And then, and then what adds to it, you also have to, you have to undo it when you're done with your ride. So if you're with a passenger up and down a couple times a week, that is not acceptable. So if I was riding 2-up more often, I would definitely switch out the suspension. The second thing I don't like about the motorcycle is the stock stereo system that came with it. Now, it's probably, I've heard worse, but it was pretty bad. The only time I could ever hear my music is if I was riding slow around town, but on the highway, forget it. It was terrible. So I went out and I purchased the 500 watt amp, which I switched out myself, and I also installed the Stage 2 speakers. So that was an upgrade. It is a lot better, but in hindsight, I should have bought the Stage 3 speakers because, the Stage 2 are good, but in my opinion, they're still not loud enough. So that is something I might still do. The third thing I don't like about the bike is the navigation system. It is very clunky. It's not very good. Now here in Canada, we do get it. As long as you stay in Canada, the maps still work. I understand they don't in the US and you have to buy a subscription. Here they still work, but in general, the GPS system has led me down wrong roads. I don't really like the layout of it. It's not really clear. It just doesn't look great. So that to me is a negative. The fourth thing I don't like is that it does not have Android Auto. You can standard with the bike. You can buy all kinds of boxes supposedly that you plug in and have to fiddle around with, so you finally get Android Auto. To not have that in here, I'm sure there's a lot more iPhones out there, but there's a lot of us that have Android, love Android, will never switch to iPhones, and it would be nice if Android Auto was available on these bikes. And the last thing I don't like about the bike is it's something I don't like about it and something I like about it. What I don't like about it is the passenger stock seat. I've had my wife on this, I've had both my kids on it, and they said it was absolutely horrendous. And although it feels good, it's too small. The way it's rounded off, it's just not comfortable. And that's going to actually lead me to one of the first things I like about the bike, and that is the stock rider seat. Like, that was a real surprise. On my 2017, I ordered a Corbin seat. I had a Corbin, which was super comfortable because the stock one just wasn't. And this stock seat for the rider anyway is very, very good. I still might switch it out, but I'm only switching it out to have a more comfortable passenger seat. Next thing I really love about the bike is the infotainment system. It is, as everybody knows, it is the largest display out there as far as any bike goes. It is super crisp, looks wonderful. You can do a ton of things on it, and I absolutely love the technology of this infotainment system. The next thing I really like about the bike are the stock handlebars. I like my bars higher. I had 12-inch. I switched out 12-inch on my old bike, and here no need to do that. All I did was just undo this clamp at the bottom there and twist them forward, and they're absolutely great. So save some money on the handlebars. So another thing I really like about the bike is the power. Once you switch this thing into sport mode, man, it is by far the most powerful Harley I ever ridden. I think everybody can agree with me on that. There is really no need, in my opinion, to do any stages on this bike. For the amount of extra power you would get, I don't know, I guess it's debatable, but I did a stage 2 of my 17. I'm not doing it on this one. I think it would be a complete waste of money. And then the last thing that I really love about it is the fuel mileage I'm getting. You know, I average about just a little over 5 liters per 100 kilometers. Not quite sure what that works out to in miles per gallon, but pleasantly surprised how little fuel it uses compared to the size of the bike. Now, that did change a little bit. It got a little bit worse once I added the Screaming Eagle Wedge high flow air filter. I was averaging right around just under 5 liters per 100 before, and now I'm averaging about 5.2, 5.3, but I think that's still very acceptable. So yeah, so overall, I think the likes far outweigh the dislikes on this bike. I mean, overall, you know, this is my 4th motorcycle I've owned since I started riding again in 2016, and it is by far the best. I had a 17 Road Glide before this, which was good. I had a 21 Road Glide, which I only owned for about 4 months, which is also very good. But this one's got the beat hands down in every way. It is by far the best machine they've made, in my opinion. And yes, a year later, I still love it. I plan on keeping it for several more years. And I'm almost positive once this one gets retired, I'll be purchasing another Road Glide. Hopefully they're still exactly the same or better. So yeah, so that's it. That's it for today's kind of review, the 1 year review of this motorcycle. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a like. Please subscribe if you can, and we'll see you at the next one.